Welcome to TalkersToGeeks.com. Justin here, back with more manga reviews, but this time not manga reviews from the couch. Don't worry, I will be back in physical form when I have a physical manga. Reason why it's not reviews from the couch this time is because we received a digital copy, so I just want to say thank you to Kodansha Comics for sending this to us, and we are going to be reviewing the manga Life Lessons with Uramichi Oniisan, Volume 1 by Gaku Kuze. And once, like I said, this is published by Kodansha Comics. And as always, I give you a brief synopsis, so here we go. Uramichi is a 31-year-old host on a kids show who leads exercise routines and teaches life lessons colored by one main theme: adulthood sucks. Alongside mascots played by a couple of bushy-tailed 20-somethings and a singing duo whose music embodies the notion of being kicked while you're down, Uramichi wades through misery of working life one comment at a time. I had fun reading this manga. This concept had me really interested. The minute I read this concept, I was just like, I have to read this story. And what really worked for me, like there's some things I like and there's some things I don't like, and that's the whole point of a review, right? So one thing that really worked for me was the actual concept of this. Here you have this cynical 31-year-old Uramichi, and he is hosting a kids show. You have a guy who pretty much has given up on life and just the outlook. He is so pessimistic and so negative about everything, and you're placing this person to teach children on a kids show. And I love that type of irony, because here you have a guy who basically, he feels like he's failed at life. He's not satisfied with anything. He's not married, no kids, doesn't have a girlfriend, and he's just like, life is blah. And he has to put on this type of show and just basically a persona for the kids. And the crazy part is he doesn't put on a persona. He goes into this kids show with kids asking questions, and he gives kids the straight up truth about life from his perspective. And I was just like, this is something I have to see as an anime, and thankfully, believe it or not, an anime is actually coming, and I really am looking forward to it, because I would love to see this in just how it's going to play out in the acting scene, how the character is going to interact with children in just a visual movement type of form, in animation form. And I love the character. He is just, and his co-workers view him as scary because he's so intimidating. Just his whole outlook on life makes things so intimidating, so people are afraid to approach him. But it's crazy because once he's on the show, he has this outlook of life, but once he's on the show, you can just tell that he has this love for the actual children. And that's one thing I really did like, is this dynamic. Here you have this guy that's miserable, he's kind of depressed, he just has this pessimistic, everything sucks type of attitude. But once that camera rolls, once that camera hits, he's trying to, like, even though the things that he says to children, just like, oh, you know, you shouldn't have expectations and this and this and that, he still has this compassion to them. And the children's reactions to this and to what he's saying, they have no clue. And credit to the artwork on this to show the confused look on the children's faces. They be like, what is he talking about? Obviously just supposed to be doing ABCs. He's like, no, we're going to teach you about life so you can just avoid certain steps. And I'm reading this and I'm like, I'm pretty sure these kids are just like 5 or 6. They absolutely have no clue. And one thing I did like is that they have this thing where most of the cast members on this show are not, and I don't want to use the term failures, but they are not where they wanted to be. I'll put it that way. They take this job, like you have this singing duo, and the female of that group, she has a nice art to her. She's a failed pop idol, so she took this gig, you know, because she gets to sing songs and at least has something to do with music. But her personal life, she is in an unfulfilled relationship with this guy. She's been dating this guy for 6 years. She's ready to get married. She's 32. So she's in that mode where some women will be. Not all, but there's some women out there that are in their 30s. They start panicking. Oh my gosh, I'm not married. Oh my gosh, I don't have kids yet. So she's in that space, in that frame of mind, and she's just really going through it. And I like how everybody has to put their personal demons and personal issues aside, and they have to put on this sort of persona for the kids and for this job and for the show. And I thought that was really, really good. And that's like really some of the great highlights and concepts that I really did like. The characterization is okay, but especially for Uramichi, there is some backstory. It's 282 pages. You do get enough characterization for a first volume, which I thought was pretty good. But I would like to see more of the characters in depth get explored. But for the most part, it did well. Now, some of the negatives that I have with this, the manga is that it does feel repetitive every single chapter. It gets a little bit, this pacing's a little bit slow. Starts off with a bang in the beginning, but the pacing does get a little bit slow towards when you get to like page 78, and then you start to get to feel a little bit of the repetitiveness in the book, because as great as Uramichi is, at the same time, the pessimistic attitude and the cynicalness, it's gonna be weighing you down. Like, it's really gonna feel like you're talking to one of your cynical friends who constantly bitches and complains about life every time. We all have one, so you know exactly what I'm talking about. So you're reading that in every chapter. He comes to work and he's just, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks, this sucks. And then he turns on just like a switch when the kids come. It does get a little bit daunting at times, but at the same time, it's character building to what he becomes and starting to really grow as a character towards the end. So I'm not going to penalize it that much, but it does feel a little bit repetitive. And the pacing, at times, it does feel like a chore to read, especially when he's in full cynical mode. You're just like, all right, bro, you've been like this for the past 15 pages. Give me something else. So, but the art style is really good as well. Like I said, I love the way they express the kids. I love the design of the characters. Some really great shots here. It's a very fun read. I recommend it. I'm gonna give this, for those who like star reviews, I'm gonna give it 3.5 stars. Those who like letters, I'm gonna give this, let me see, I'm gonna give it a B-. I'm gonna give it a B-. And I recommend it. I'm really curious to see how the anime is going to be. So this is Justin from otakusandgeeks.com. Thank you for another participating in watching our manga review from, I guess, the laptop this time around. If you like what we do here, please like, share, and subscribe to our channel. Don't forget to hit that notification bell if you're watching this on YouTube. And most importantly, if you're watching this on otakusandgeeks.com, thank you. Please continue to explore the website. You can like us on Instagram. You can follow us on Instagram. You can follow us on Twitter and like us on Facebook.com. Links are in the description and, of course, in the ending credits of this. So, later days. Catch you on the next one.